Hello everyone, my name is Ramadhanu. So in this presentation, I'm going to walk you through a project that's both technical and personal, my own developer portfolio website. It's more than just a collection of links or a digital resume. It's something I designed and built from scratch to represent who I am as a software engineer, how I work, what I care about, and what kind of experience I aim to deliver through my code and design. I'll be covering the ideation process, the structure of the site, how I approach UI UX, the technologies I used, and some of decisions I made along the way, from layout, to performance, to developer workflow. And while it's still a work in progress in some areas, especially on the testing side, it already reflects a full cycle of how I approach building things, with thought, care, and a healthy dose of curiosity. So let's start from the beginning with the idea that I'll spark it all. Okay, now I want to take you a moment to talk about the design aspect of this website, how I approach the layout, visual language, and overall structure. This project was inspired by a Figma concept created by Wilson Kinyua, whose personal portfolio design really caught my attention. His work struck a great balance between minimalism and creativity, using a bold typography, clean structure, and dark theme aesthetic that felt both modern and professional. But I didn't just copy the design, call it a day. I used his concept as a starting point, and I made a number of adjustments for improvements to suit my own needs, both technically and personally. In short, I treat the design not as a template, but as a foundation, one that I could build upon, reshape, and evolve to meet my own style, workflow, and technical direction. Okay, now let me walk you through the technologies I used to build and run this project, from development to deployment. At the core of the stack, I chose Next.js. It gives me the best of both worlds, performance and flexibility. I use in app router mode, which lets me organize the site into clean, modular layouts with server-side rendering, static site generation, and client components, all in one unified architecture. Next.js also comes with built-in routing and optimization, which helps keep things lean without sacrificing scalability. Next, for styling, I went with the Tailwind CSS. It's utility first, fast, and maintainable, instead of context switching between class names and style sheets. Tailwind lets me write the design logic directly into the markup. That way, I can build responsive, pixel-perfect layout with fewer lines of code and more consistency. Next, to enforce the code quality, I integrated Slint with custom rules tailored to a TypeScript and React environment. Linting is back into the development workflow, so every commit stays clean and every pull request is easier to review. It's one of those silent tools, you don't see it, but it keeps the code base in check. For testing, I'm using Cypress, mainly for the component testing and end-to-end flows. Right now, I've written the coverage, but some components like buttons, inputs, and cards. So I'll admit the test coverage isn't 100% yet. Still, Cypress has helped me catch early layout bugs and validate user flows, especially in dynamic UI states. To containerize the app, I've set up Docker. This ensures that the project runs on the same way on the every mission. Whether I'm testing locally, sharing with a collaborator, or deploying into the production. It also makes it easier to simulate the environment used in CI/CD pipelines. Okay, speaking of pipelines, I configure the CircleCI for continuous integration. So every time I push the code into the GitHub, then the CircleCI automatically runs the build, checks for lin errors, and runs the test suite. This helps catch mistakes early and keeps the main branch production safe. And of course, the whole project is managed through Git and hosted on GitHub. All development is done on branches with pull requests and commit history structured for clarity. It's not just about pushing code, it's about versioning responsibly and keep track of progress. So in short, this project runs on a modern production-grade stack, from Next.js for the framework, to Tailwind for styling, Cypress for testing, and Docker and CircleCI for DevOps. Those tools aren't just picked because they are trendy. They each solve specific problems that makes the project more stable, scalable, and maintainable. Even though some parts like test coverage, the foundation is solid and built for growth. Okay, let's take a quick look at the website together. Okay, let me start by introducing the hero section of my personal website. The very first thing visitors see when they land on the homepage. Okay, so first in the top left corner, you will notice my personal logo, where I styled the first half of my name in bold red and the second half in white. This design choice intentional because it highlights my name in a way that's both eye-catching and easy to remember, while maintaining a sense of personal branding. Moving to the top right, there is clean and minimalist navigation bar that includes all the key sections of the website, like home, about, services, resume, skills, and contact. This menu helps user easily explore the entire site. I made sure it's responsive and smooth to navigate, especially on the mobile device. Okay, so in the main section, I greet the visitor with a simple line, "Hello, my name is Ramadhanu." And just below that, I introduce my role as a software engineer in a softer gray color to keep the visual hierarchy balanced. Below the greeting, there is a short bio that provides a quick snapshot of who I am and what I do. So basically, this section is designed to quickly inform the visitor about my expertise in just a few lines. Next, to encourage interaction, I added the prominent Contact Me button in bold red, so it stands out clearly against the dark background and leads user to the contact section, where they can reach out to me directly. Right below the button, I include my social media icons, GitHub, LinkedIn, email, and Instagram. These links to my online presence and allow recruiters, collaborators, or peers to explore my work and get in touch with me across different platforms. On the right-hand side, you will see my professional black and white photo of me framed in a bright red circle. This matches the red in my name and the contact button, creating consistent visual identity. I chose the black and white filter to maintain the mature professional tone, while the red border adds energy and contrast. Lastly, in the background, there are a subtle particle animation. small dots and lines gently moving and connecting. And it adds a tech-savvy and modern feel to the overall look without being distracting. It gives the impression of structure and interactivity, which reflects the kind of work I do as a software engineer. Overall, this hero sections is designed to be clear, bold, and personal. It introduces who I am, what I do, and how to reach me, all within the first few seconds. It also reflects my personality, technical background while maintaining a professional look and feel. Okay, next, moving to the About Me section. I chose to begin this part with a quick phrase that reflects my personality and work ethics. There is curious, committed software engineer. These are 3 words summarize how I approach technology, with curiosity to explore, commitment to deliver, and the mindset of an engineer to build systems that work, not just code that runs. Then I give a more detailed introduction. I mentioned that I have over 4 years of hands-on coding experience, and I describe myself as a detail-oriented software engineer who's passionate about building reliable and scalable solutions. One of my values is the ability to keep learning and adapting. I believe in the technology, everything evolves, framework change, and to stay relevant, we need to stay curious. I also emphasize that I thrive in environment that value clean code and thoughtful architecture, because to me, writing code isn't just about making it work, it's about making sustainable, readable, and team-friendly. My focus on streamlining development workflows reflects my experience not only as a developer, but also someone who understands how technical decisions impact the larger business goals. Below that introduction, I included a few core highlights of my skill set and passions. So in short, this section tells the story of who I am, not just a software engineer, but as a problem solver and a continuous learner, someone who codes with purpose and grows with intent. Okay, next, there are a service section that highlights the core services I offer, the actual skills I bring to the table when working on the real-world project. I open this section with a personal line that reflects my philosophy. I love making complex things feel simple and enjoyable. Because to me, that's what good engineering is all about. Making complicated systems intuitive, seamless, and a joy to use. Then comes the headline, my special services crafted with code, care, and creativity. These words are foundation of how I approach every project. Not just writing the code that works, but building the things that are thoughtful, user-centric, and sustainable. So overall, this section summarizes the technical services I offer, but it also reflects how I think as an engineer. I aim to build things that work, scale, and feel good to use. These aren't just about points. They are skills I have used in actual projects, and I'm continuously improving them every day. Next, we move on to resume. This section is titled My Resume, and it's where I share both my educational background and professional experience side by side. The tagline I used is practical skills, professional experience, because I believe a good engineer is built on both. The theory we learn and the reality we build. Okay, so this is a timeline of my education and experiences. So in summary, this resume section shows my evolution from learning the basics to building full stack systems to deploying scalable products in real environments. Every experience here taught me something different, from technical skills to professional responsibility. And all of it fits into the developer I am today. Okay, we move on to the section that I like to call my talents. These are the professional skills I ever built through the experience, practice, and real-world projects. Instead of just listing them in plain text, I chose to showcase them visually through the icon that are instantly recognizable by any developer, recruiter, or tech enthusiast. Okay, so in short, this section shows the tools I'm fluent in and the technologies I've used across full stack projects, from UI to server, from data to deployment. Okay, finally we arrived to the contact and footer section. The last but definitely not the least important part of my website. This is where I invite visitors to reach out, whether it's to start a project, collaborate, ask questions, or even just say hello. The headline is, "Let's talk for your next projects." I chose this phrase to keep things open and approachable while also signaling that I am ready for the new challenges and collaborations. Okay, so this is form. There are full name, email, phone number, subject, and the message itself. Once it filled out, user can click send message. And this is where I implement the form validation logic as well. Yeah, something like this. Okay, so basically it's open the mail and send to my email, because this leads to mail to hyperlink. Also, I have a personal highlight list. On the left side, I added a quick list that summarizes what I bring to the table, including 4+ years of experience as a professional web and mobile developer, background in IT support, and passion for tech as lifelong learner. These badges act like a confidence booster for the visitor, giving them assurance before they hit send. Below that, I added social icons. Yeah, like GitHub, LinkedIn, email, and Instagram. So if someone prefers to reach out me informally or check my profile before sending the message, they have multiple ways to do so. These links are clickable and styled to fit the site's theme, ensuring that the consistency stays intact. And at the very bottom, I added a custom footer with my personal brand and a copyright label for the current year. It's a small touch, but it gives a site finish polished look, like saying thank you for scrolling this far. Okay, so to sum up, this contact section isn't just a form, it's an invitation, an open door for collaboration, communication, and future opportunities. Because for me, building a website isn't just about showing off what I have done, it's about starting what's next. Okay, if you are interested in exploring the code behind this project, feel free to scan the QR on this slide. It will take you straight to the GitHub repository, where you can see the full implementation of the components and layout logic to how I structure the routing, styling, and deployment pipeline to learn, review, or even forget. Feel free to check it out. And that's bring us to the end of this presentation. What I've shown today isn't just a personal website, it's a reflection of my journey as a software engineer, from the structure, design, to the technologies under the hood. Everything was built with intention. I didn't just want to build something that works. I wanted to build something that communicates, that feels intuitive, and tells the story. There are still things I want to improve, especially in testing and accessibility. But that's the nature of the real projects. They evolve. So whether you are here as a fellow developer, a potential collaborator, or just someone curious about how things are built, thank you for taking the time to explore this with me. If there is one thing I hope you take away from this, it's that good software isn't just about the code. It's about clarity, care, and continuous learning.